In this video, I'm going to go over the three most important sections of ICH Q11. If you're coming at ICH Q11 from a medical device background or a non-chemistry background, wrapping your head around it can be very difficult. It was difficult for me. But by the end of this video, you'll have a simple map for how to start to think through ICH Q11, how the drug substance process is developed, where that process begins, and how that process is controlled. I'm Subi. I'm a consultant, auditor, and trainer, and I've spent my whole career in pharma and medical device quality, R&D, and commercialization. Now, today we're talking about ICH Q11, which goes over the development and manufacture of drug substances. And just to get through a few terms here, drug substance, often called DS, API, which is the active pharma ingredient. This drug substance is the element that's delivering the therapeutic effect. And from a context standpoint, it's important to understand where ICH Q11 fits into the broader framework. So we've gone over ICH Q7, which is the GMPs for API related. We've gone through ICH Q8, which is pharma development. And here it talks about QBD and design space. ICH Q9 covers quality risk management. ICH Q10 is the pharmaceutical quality system, or PQS. We covered that in the last episode. Now, ICH Q11 covers the development and manufacture of drug substance. So it's kind of like ICH Q8, 9, and 10, but for drug substance. And it has a direct connection into Q7. So now I wanted to go over the three important sections. If I was reading this for the first time, the first section that I would look at is section 3. And section 3 really helps answer the question, how should the drug manufacturing process be developed? And as we look at kind of the first section, the goal of the manufacturing process for DS is to establish the commercial process, which is capable of consistently producing drug substance to the intended quality. In other words, it's important to think backwards and think of, well, what is the intended quality requirement that I have? And that's why the next section, 3.1.1, is the link to final drug product. The intended quality of the drug substance should be determined through consideration of essentially where it's going to end up in the drug product. And so section 3 makes sure that you understand the process well enough to consistently make drug substance for the quality that it's going to need to have as it moves downstream. And the next section covers QRM and knowledge management. It talks about design space as well in this section, CQAs, linking material attributes and process parameters to substance CQAs. Again, like I said, the design space is there as well, and how you summarize the overall process development. And I think it's important to understand with some of these ICHs, like we've covered in the past, a big part of why they exist is to align and harmonize on how the data is summarized for a submission. And that's what's covered in the scope of this document. Now, the next section I want to highlight here is section 5. I'd focus on this one because it answers the question, where does the drug substance manufacturing process begin? If you follow the typical manufacturing flow for a drug product, it goes raw material, starting material, intermediate, drug substance or API, then it gets formulated into drug product, and then it gets packaged and delivered to a patient or user. That's the typical flow. And once you define your starting material, you're defining the boundary for when the drug substance manufacturing process begins. So the selection of these starting materials ends up being very important. And it has considerations for if you're selecting materials for a synthetic drug substance, if it's semi-synthetic, if it's biologics, etc., because these have different processes. You need to be able to justify the starting materials. Section 3 was about how the process is developed. Section 5 is where does your process begin? And section 6 talks about how is your product controlled. So the biggest point here is that you're not just focused on release testing, it's the full set of controls for the drug substance from the beginning to the end. So it includes things like material controls and your process parameters and your in-process controls. The impurity control. Impurity is a critical element here in ICH Q11. Impurity control and what the release requirements are. So if I were going to look at ICH Q11 for the first time, I would look at those 3 sections, section 3, section 5, and section 6, because I think they're really the backbone of ICH Q11. And so that is it for ICH Q11. In the next episode, we'll be covering ICH Q12. And if you enjoyed this episode or have any feedback about the series, please shoot me an email at subi@letscombinate.com or comment on the video below, and I will see you in the next one.